or some wigs. Hello there. I am the incredible edible Eggibles, but you can just call me Eggibles. And this, just in case you couldn't tell from this and the title of the video, is Optimus Prime, specifically the Earthrise version from War for Cybertron. Now, I'm just starting up my review channel, as you can tell from the fact that this will be the only video on my channel so far. I'm planning on doing a bunch of different reviews featuring some of the McFarlane DC Universe collectibles figures, as well as more War for Cybertron figures and just other Transformers in general, such as a couple Cyberverse figures here and there. That being said, because this is the Earthrise version, and because I've had it since probably September, October, he doesn't have the box, so I can't show you that. But I figured I'd review him anyway because they did a remold or repackaging, rather, of this guy for the Kingdom line. So we're just going to review him as is, but in the future, I'll be showing some box art so that everyone can look at it. So bear with me on that. With that out of the way, here he is. Very, very nice Generation 1 accurate Optimus Prime from head to toe. Have some great mechanical detailing all throughout the body and panel lining and whatnot that just really completes the look. Not as G1 accurate as if they were to make this figure in, say, something like the Studio Series 86 line or something like that, but still very pleasing nonetheless, in my opinion. As I said, or maybe I didn't, waited to start collecting Transformers until something like this came out. So, not too much to really say. That being said, on the design, I mean, it's Generation 1 Prime. I'm sure most people know what Gen 1 Prime looks like. He's iconic. He's Optimus. He's Optimus. Even my wife, who didn't really know much about Transformers before this, knew who Optimus Prime was. So, that being said, despite looking quite pretty, especially because it's not even a masterpiece figure, it also has some great posability and an awesome transformation, but we'll get to that in a moment. So, let's start from the top, going down. We have a ball joint at the head that allows him to look up that far and down about that far. Not a great range of motion, but hey, whatever. We're going to put this off to the side now. You have a joint here, which allows him to bring his arm up that far and swivel. You also have a swivel at the bicep and a bend at the elbow, as well as a swivel of the wrist and a joint at the hand, so he can open it. Mind you, you don't want to try to force anything weapon-wise into here. I'm not forcing it because I don't want to break it. It's more just you sort of put it down into the hole like so, and you just kind of slide it in place. You don't even need to really open the hand, truth be told. So make sure you don't just try to force it in there. That being said, moving on. You also get a swivel at the waist. It's hindered by this thing, the wheels and the bumper. You can, as you saw, unfold these and fold it down, and you'll see it's kind of on like a bar here. You can't really see it unless I do that, So if you want to get more motion, take that off. Fold this for now. We're going to need that later for the transformation. And now you can get a full 360. Ain't that nice, right? You also get some leg articulation. He can kick forward about that far and back about that far. So really, really nice range of motion. He also has a swivel at the leg, a really nice bend at the knee, and an ankle pivot, as well as a toe bend and a heel bend, but those are more for the transformation. Again, more on that later. And you can really hold a lot of poses. If you do this, he can actually hold a kneeling position, which is not something I can say for a lot of collectibles that I have. So some fantastic engineering on this guy. But I guess that's what you get when you're paying for a leader class figure in the size of a Voyager. Also, for even more stuff, you'll notice that in conjunction with all the 5mm holes here, which are so that you can do things like, we're just going to kind of peg in weapons and whatnot, and especially if you have weaponizers. He also has a little hole back here, which is compatible with Figma stands. So he can actually hold even more poses and whatnot, such as something akin to the... That's not the right piece. Something akin to... a jumping motion in the movie. Mind you, unless I tighten this stand, it's kind of weird, but you can see he holds it pretty well as long as you kind of balance him a little bit. So, hey, that's a thing you can do, especially if you have Figma stands. Sound off if you want me to review anything Figma related. I have a couple. Sorry about that. The shaking on the camera, I'm just readjusting it. Yeah, sound off if you want me to review anything else in regards to like Figma and whatnot. Now, Prime also comes with a trailer. Here. Speaking of the combat system, which can open up to reveal a shield on the ramp, which, you know, can plug in like here if you want it, or whatever. As well as gun emplacement, which they show you in the directions to do something like this, if you want. Just nothing too much. The barrels of the cannons, we'll say, on this, I'm sorry, don't crucify me, but I don't know what this is called. I wasn't a Gen 1 guy. I only watched during Energon and Armada, so but, you know, you can do something like this, but I don't really, we're just gonna kind of, I'm gonna put that back, because personally, I don't like to use this as anything other than just a trailer, and even then, it's kind of just an okay trailer. I mean, it's, yeah, let me just so I can get the trailer in here as well. If I can get this stupid thing back on. Did I do it wrong? There we go. Yes. Yes, I did. Here's the trailer. You know, a nice G1 look. It's missing a lot of stuff on the bottom of it. You can get third-party upgrade kits for it, but I kind of reached a point where I did a lot of upgrade kits for this guy, contrary to what you might see here. And I couldn't justify upgrading this. So, we left it as is for now. Speaking of upgrade kits, I do have a couple. We have a classic Energon axe and something a little more not classic, but different. That might fit a little more in line with the War for Cybertron aesthetic. It also comes with a piece like this. We'll get to that in a moment. Now, this axe here, I purchased this from a gentleman on TFW. It has two parts here, the axe and a little peg. This one unfortunately broke, but it still works as is. Now, to use this one, we're just going to kind of close the hand, open that, push the hand in here. Oop, don't close it up. You want to kind of angle this a certain way so that it can go in there, like so. There we go. Now it's working for me. Let me close this up. Take the axe head and peg it on. And there you go. You have a very cool, very G1 accurate axe. So that's one option. And the other option, and truth be told, as much as I love both of these, my personal favorite is this. Now, this comes actually in 3 separate sections. You'll notice I still push this in, even though I said not to. That's because this axe is made a little, like, thinner on this side, so it can just sort of peg in. But I wouldn't recommend it. I'm taking that risk because it's mine, but you should not. Like I said, though, this comes with 3 separate sections. They're very tight. Hang on, I gotta get some... Okay, well, the first one came off the head. And there we go. You could hear how it was kind of like moving. Hang on. Let's get some focus on that. It's not working. I apologize for that. But you can either do something like this and get like a shorter axe going on to put in his hand, or you can do sort of that battle axe formation, or something else that's very cool. Take this piece like so. You'll see a little peg right there. Well, we're going to take that peg, I'm going to put it in there just like that, and voila. G1 inspired while still kind of doing something new. So there's some options. This one, I don't remember what this one's from. I used to remember, but I don't right now off the top of my head. Dr. Wu, maybe? If anyone's interested, you know, there are places that you can get this stuff from. So we're going to put this back on here for now, because we're going to be transforming it in a bit anyway. So that all out of the way, let's get some comparisons in here. Oh, hang on. How could I forget this? He has a matrix in here. can be a bit tough to get out, but you can get it out, and you can kind of get a, you know, light our darkest hour pose going, but it's really hard to get going, so we're just going to leave it because most of the time the matrix falls out on me. First up, let's bring in Earthrise Megatron. A nice sculpt. They do go well together. I did some customization on mine, but we'll save that for another time. I'm going to be doing a video on some customization, specifically some upgrades I purchased for this guy at a later date. Let's also show Super Megatron. I love this guy. Definitely a runner-up for favorite figure of 2020. Let's show off a weaponizer, because why not? It's the only one I have, but hey, it's a thing. And let's get a Bumblebee sculpt in there. Why not? So you can see some options. I don't have a G1 Bumblebee that I can show. I probably won't. I'm not going to lie to you. And lastly, we'll show Siege Springer for now. Whoa. There we go. Siege Springer. I might do a video on this guy at a later point. Who knows? That out of the way. Let's get into the transformation. So, first of all, we're going to take off the gun. We're going to return him to where he's supposed to be before transformation. To start off, you're going to open his hands like so. Well, open the wrists up and flip in his hands like so. So he'll be left like this. Next, we are going to take his chest and flip it open like so. From here, you're going to want to just kind of move this back a bit like so. And then we're going to go back here, open up the wheels like so, and flip that down. And now we can move his upper body around like that. Next, flip down the toe and the heel like so. Then move this out like so. Open the tanks on the side so they're sticking out like this. This is supposed to clip together like so. Mine doesn't because of a defect with the peg. Hasbro offered to trade it out for me, but I've grown too attached to it. I didn't want to. Next, you're going to want to, like you saw, flip out the grill here. Tab it into place until you hear a click, like so. Open up his back, just like that, and flip in his head, like so. Make sure the wheels and the bumper are connected, like so. Then, I'm just going to move the arms back a little more there. You're going to flip out the panels here on the side, like so. Then, I'm going to take this, and we are going to just click it into place, if it'll go. Bear with me. Sometimes it's temperamental and it does not like to stay. And to this day, I can't figure out why. Figures that when I'm getting this thing on camera, it doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. Next, like you saw me do, you're gonna take these portions of his back and flip them out like so. Then we want to take his arms like that and just kind of tab them into place like so. And then I'm going to try to get this to sit nice and flush, and then you tab everything into place. And if you did everything right, then you have one whole Optimus in his truck mode. And, you know, it's a nice G1 accurate Optimus. Let's get his trailer in here, and we're just going to kind of do that. I mean, if it'll sit. There we go. You know, not too shabby. Next up, let's get into some size comparisons. This is the Galaxy Upgrade Prime in comparison to his vehicle mode. Someday I'll get a bigger space to review these guys. Take him out of here. For now, here is Megatron. Oh, he came untapped again. Of course he did. Earthrise Megs. Super Megatron. And Bumblebee in his Camaro alternate mode. Overall, this figure is awesome. He's a fantastic representation of G1 Prime, while also doing some new things here and there to sort of tweak the design and make it work in ways that make it not quite G1 Prime, such as some differences with the legs and whatnot. And, of course, a different blaster, but hey, I can do it right. Overall, I give this guy a thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, actually. If you're looking for him, and you can't quite find him in the Earthrise line, which, you know, good luck, you can still find him in the Kingdom line. They re-released him, same figure, same everything, head sculpt, legs, blah, 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 trailer, everything, all the accessories, it's all the same. It's just a repack with the Kingdom branding, which makes sense. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the best Optimus Prime sculpts I've ever seen. And I just started collecting Transformers. But hey, what do you guys think? I highly recommend him, but that's for you to decide. And also, what do you think of my video? I'm kind of still tweaking the idea of my review channel. I'm going to do a different rating scale that's not just thumbs up or stars. But I got some things in the work. I'm going to see what I can make work, and we're going to go from there. It's still going to probably be like a 5 out of 5 sort of deal, but, you know, I'm going to put my own little spin on it, because why not? Us artists got art, am I right? But that's going to do it for today. If you like this video, give me a like, a subscribe, and, hey, why don't you give me a comment? Just don't, you know, insult me or anything. I have feelings, you know. I have feelings. Anyway, you stay classy, Internet. Peace.